Testing, testing. Ah, I'm glad I saw that. Didn't have any sound, but I do now. All right. Looks like we're all set. Hey, look at that. Just in time. It is 8 o'clock. Bonehead says, hello, Brian. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining. All right. Here we go. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the ChillerNight Live pre-show. We're from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until a few minutes shy of 9 p.m. I'll sit here and I will chat with you viewers and you with me and each other about the ChillerNight television programming that will be coming on Stream TV at 9 p.m., as well as all things horror, science fiction, and paranormal, and quite honestly, anything else you happen to throw my way or at each other. So, always a good, fun hour. Cassandra says, hi, everybody. Hey, Cassandra, thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, hey, hello, welcome to the ChillerNight crew, Brian and Ava. Hey, all right, glad to have you. Brian says, hello, everyone. Hey, Brian. Let's see. Bonehead says, what's new in your neighborhood, Brian? Just got a lot of snow today. That wasn't there yesterday at this time, so I guess that's all new. Can't say it's wanted, but it's new. John says, it's time again for all your ChillerNight hopes and dreams to be fulfilled. I'm Crozak the Grand, and welcome to the ChillerNight pre-show with our host, Brian Hogue. Well, thank you very, very much there, Crozak the Grand. Very kind of you. Good sir. David says, good evening. Champagne popped and poured. Cheers. Al says, hi, everyone. Well, good evening, David and Al. Diana says, hi, everyone. Bonehead says, hey, nice shirt there, buddy. Ah, thank you. This was one of my haunted houses in previous years. No longer is out and about there. Although, I mean, the realm that Jack Shadow dwells in, I do call it the Dark Domain. So I guess that's still around. Let's see. Lisa Ann says, hello. Hey, Lisa Ann, thanks for joining us. Raymond says, hi, Brian. Abs, everybody. Hey. Hey, Raymond. Maybe, and everybody, I'm guessing. All right, well, glad you're joining us there, Raymond. Brad says, it's the ChillerNight pre-show of Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue now. Still hosting Friday Night Frights. Here's Brian. What's on the night, Brian? Yeah, I didn't have one last night, but well, I'll show you what's on tonight. We'll have another one soon. But okay, now here's the schedule for tonight at 9 o'clock. The Mad Monster. Now that's the one that we just did. What I think on the 4th. Why am I thinking the 4th? I'll tell you. It was the 4th. That's why I'm thinking that. Okay, and 10:35. Now remember these times. I'm going to quiz you on this at the end, and you're not allowed to look. No, I guess I won't do that, but still. 10:35. The movie is Track of the Moonbees. 12:10 a.m. ChillerNight Theater. The movie is Terror Creatures from the Grave. And at now this, pay attention. It says 2:05. The movie is Snow Beast. It's technically 3:05 because the time will change. You know, we jump ahead. So that's actually at 3:05. But I didn't want to write that on there because if I write that on there, it looks like there's a big gap in between movies. A big gap of nothing. And by golly, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to have something there. We're going to have Snow Beast. So there it is. There it is. I thought I would explain the time difference there. Tom says, good evening all. Hey, Tom, thanks for joining us. Daniel Haynes says, hello there. Hey, Daniel, thanks for joining us. Jason says, greetings. Another edition of amazing chats and movie info. Well, thanks for joining us, Jason. Bonehead says, I just shaved my beard off too, Brian. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it was time. It was time. Let's see. Lisa Ann says, it's time again for pizza. Oh, yeah. Hey, and if you're living in, I guess my neck of the woods, check out Pacelli Pizza. Give them a call. All right. Let's see. Tom says, Brian, you quit your beard. You're right. I did. I did. I just felt like it was time. It was time. I've only had that since like end of October, beginning of November, something like that. I remember it was, I know for a fact it was in November, but, and then when I shaved it off, it was like, oh, it looks so different. Well, I've had this for 53 years. And I only had that for a couple months, but yet this looked different to me. I don't know. It was weird. So weird. Let's see. John says, just think, we keep getting more snow on St. Patrick's Day. We'll have green snowmen to party with. Yeah. That used to be such a big day. I used to take that day off from work every year. Go out. Find my way home in the wee hours of the morning. But yeah, I don't know. Ava and I both, we used to take that day off together and just go out, and then before we met each other, she'd go, we found out a big day for each of us. Now it's like, oh, is it St. Patrick's Day? I haven't gone out for years on St. Patrick's Day. Lisa Ann says, change the clocks. That's right. It's tonight, folks. Brad says, let's go some of that old-fashioned pro wrestling Irish whip. Okay. Sounds good. Anything with pro wrestling in it. Beverly. Hey, Beverly. Thanks for joining us. We went to school with Beverly. Good evening, she says. Well, thanks for joining us. Dave Davis. Hey, DJ Dave. He says, hey, I'm here. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Kevin, all right, our friend over there in Ireland, says, hello, my classic horror fan, Kevin here. Oh, all okay? Yeah, we're doing good, Kevin. Tara Vincent is hosting Universal Monster Classic House of Frankenstein. Good movie. I mentioned that on tonight's Mad Monster because of Glenn Strange. Tara Vincent told me to tell you to have a real scary night too, LOL. All right, will you tell Tara Vincent? Same right back at him. Thanks for stopping in. Bonehead says, hello, Kevin. Welcome to the ChillerNight crew. Amanda says, good evening. Hey, Amanda, thanks for joining us. All right, a lot of salutations being exchanged here above. That's cool. This is always a good. Last week I couldn't make it because we were at at my nephew's birthday party, and it's like quite a distance away. This is probably, I don't know, 40 miles, 40 miles, I guess. I'm guessing off the top of my head, but just couldn't make it back in time. So, and then because I ended the last Friday Night Frights in the manner in which I did, like, oh, see you next week. We'll do another one next week. And I meant it as, and I'm sorry, I felt bad about that because a couple people wrote to me asking about it, and I meant it as, like Jack when he ends, see you next time or next week for ChillerNight Theater. I guess I meant it as a generalization, but I shouldn't have. I probably worded it in a way that, well, I did. That it appeared as though I was going to have it last night. So I'm sorry. We'll do another one real soon. We will. I was actually looking at some movies that that I'd like to do for it. Let's see. Glam's with us. Hey, Glam. Thanks for joining us. Dave Davis has liked the movie I've seen today. Yeah, you were telling me about the House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. The one I was telling you about, pretty cool how they did things back in the day. Yeah, I love it. I love playing those type of movies right here on Chiller Night Theater. Well, not here, but on Chiller Night Theater. So that's a good one. We've played that. I know that we've done that one with Chiller Night Theater, and then Jack Shadow did that one back in the day too with Sleepy Hollow Theater. So he's done that one. He's covered that movie a couple times. So, all right. Some, I don't know how many Walking Dead fans are out there, or still, if you're still a fan, if you're not a fan. I thought I saw this come up. This was, I saw this week, and I was wondering about this, because I haven't heard anything yet. But I do see that apparently The Walking Dead Enemy of Hope will be the name of the Rick Grimes movie. I think there's 3 of them coming out. If anybody knows different, I know at one point, like, I didn't just make that part up. I know I heard it, but I don't know if they're still going to do that. But that's coming up next summer, in the summer of 2023. I would imagine that that's, I don't know. I don't know if it's winding down or not. I know this is the last season for The Walking Dead, but they're branching off into things like the Rick Grimes movie, and also here's another thing. This is another thing that I saw this week. Isle of the Dead. It's a series with Maggie and Negan in it. It will be those are the 2 main characters in it. So that is how far we've come since the beginning of what episode or season 7, end of season 6 into season 7, when we were introduced to Negan, and having him killing Glenn, her husband, and now through a series of a lot of story in between then and now, they are now going to be together in their own series, their own spin-off series of The Walking Dead. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I gotta say, let's see. Oh, John says, for your information, Daikaiju TV is having March Madness, Monsters Madness Marathon this weekend with When Giant Animals Attack, with classics like Them, cool, Son of Kong, Tarantula, and Lake Placid, and others as well, playing all weekend. Oh, that's cool. That's very neat. Well, thanks for sharing that information there. The Kaiju TV. All right. You can see the proper spelling there from John. Not necessarily the proper pronunciation from me, but there you have it if you're interested in checking that out. That sounds like a lot of fun. Fun TV viewing. So there was the... again, with The Walking Dead, the series itself has, I think it has seen its best days behind it. I still watch it every Sunday night. It's still Ava and I's, we look forward to that. It's still our Sunday night thing when it is on. But the spin-off series, like Fear the Walking Dead, I've watched it for years and I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. It wasn't the same. Now, Walking Dead. My biggest gripe about The Walking Dead. Do you have a minute? Okay. My thing about The Walking Dead is stop getting these little side characters, these uninteresting side characters, and trying to make them bigger and more important than what they are. Eugene, for example. Eugene is a character I've never cared for. I don't care about that character. He's the most uninteresting character to me. He cannot carry an episode. In my opinion, I don't want to see an episode about Eugene. I don't want to see another episode about Eugene. I'll say it that way because they seem to make that guy a lead in episode after episode. I could care less. Don't care for the character whatsoever. And not just him. There's other characters. I don't even know their names. That's how uninterested I am with them. Um, Even Daryl. Daryl's a good wingman. He's a good, the lieutenant, the side guy, a side character. He's a good character at that. But as far as him carrying an episode on his own, I think he's too boring. He just comes across as too boring. Too. That's my opinion. Some people are a big Daryl fan. I'm a fan of him, but I don't like to see him try to. I don't like to see him carrying an episode because I don't think they make him interesting enough. Now, early Daryl, um, the angry, Daryl back when he first, in the first several seasons, I like that Daryl. He could carry an episode, but the way they have him now, I don't think so. I guess I could take that picture down. Tom says you should look into the Flying Serpent, Killer with Wings U.S. title with George Zuko. I used to have a 16 millimeter print of that. It's a delicious PRC ripoff. Um, like the Devil Bat. I You know which one that you recommended once, and I looked it up, and I didn't see that it was public domain because I wanted to play it. Was the Giant Claw? I think it was the Giant Claw. I remember that because the creature looked like one of those big marionette puppets. Um, so, but I'll have to check this out. The Flying Serpent. The Flying Serpent. All right, all right. Maybe that's one we can play. I'll look into that. Bonet says, thanks, John. I love those 50s big bug movies like Them, Tarantula, Deadly Mantis, Beginning of the End, Earth versus the Spider, and the Black Scorpion. Wow, quite some titles there, yeah. Yeah. I remember them. I remember watching that as a real little kid. Maybe it was on Chiller Theater. I don't remember where I saw it when I was a little kid, but I just thought that was the scariest thing, watching that movie. I love that. I love that I can look back on those and have that memory of being so scared when I was a kid watching it. David says, I hear they're even going to do a spin-off series with the character Victor Strand from Fear the Walking Dead called Strand. So, that's another character. I thought doing in the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead, he was more interesting than what I think he is now. I don't know. And maybe you guys, maybe there are some who enjoy that character or enjoy that show. I you know that's cool. That's very cool. I'm just saying my personal preference is that show there is just dragging. But I mean, to me, there must be enough people watching it, or else they wouldn't renew it. So, you know. Let's see. Raymond says, "Does Daryl still carry his bow and arrow?" Yeah, he still has his crossbow. I mean, he still carries it. I like Daryl from the first handful of seasons much better than I like the Daryl now. Um, like I said, I think he's a good wingman. I think he was a good right hand man to Rick. Rick obviously could carry the episode, not a problem. And then to have Daryl, characters have their place. Like I think that Daryl makes a better right hand man than he does a leader. I don't think he's a natural leader. Where Rick or Negan, or Michonne, they are. But Carol's not. Like Carol and Daryl are more really good right hand man. They'd be who you'd want as your lieutenant or whatever. But let's see. Bonet says, I saw all the movies on Chiller Theater with Chilly Billy. Matter of fact, I saw all of them for the first time on Chiller Theater. I saw a good many on Chiller Theater. I really did. I mean, that's such great memories watching that show. Tom says, I think the standard definition of a public domain film is one that has George Zuko in it. Yeah. You know, when I was looking up information on George Zuko, they did say, no, I think he's a good actor, but they did say there wasn't a movie he turned down in the 40s. You know, he was just he was out for any role, and he took anything that was offered. They said he essentially didn't turn anything down. So I don't know. I don't even know all the movies that he's in, but I thought that was kind of funny. Bonehead says, "Hey, Lasercorn." Lasercorn says, "What did I walk into?" You walked into a group of chatting chiller maniacs is what you walked into. See what I did there? No! Oh, The Walking Dead. I imagine that's what you're talking about. Okay. Zzz. For a few seconds anyways. It's weird sitting on this side of the camera because I let things these things by me, and then maybe I think of them a little bit later, or you know, it's like why how did I not catch that? Let's see. Raymond says I stopped watching around 2017. Yeah, I don't. It's just a former shadow of itself. I don't know. I want to see. I want to see what they do with the Rick Grimes movies. Once Rick left, that was it. That was it for me. You know, I mean, I still watch it, but I mean, as far as my interest in the show, it really, really dropped. I'll be honest, the only thing that really kept, like, I like Michonne and I like Negan. Like, those two characters there, I don't mind watching episodes with them in the lead, um, or carrying the episode. Um, but the other characters, like even Daryl, if he's with Michonne, awesome. If he's with Negan or Maggie or Rick, especially Rick, awesome. I love the character, but that's just my point of view on it. Um, Otherwise, I like angry Daryl from the early seasons. Um, Brad says it's amazing how Daryl made it this far, even after Rick's demise. Yeah, I mean, well, he's a good survival character. I mean, he's awesome. I mean, as far as like you'd want that guy with you, you know, to help you navigate through a world like that. I mean, he definitely has the one of the highest survival potential rates of all the characters. He can get through anything. But as far as him being interesting enough, I just think that they made him so I don't know. He's too chill or something. He's too, I don't know. I like angry Daryl. This guy's too cool, Mr. Cool. He's playing it cool all the time. I don't know. Rick, Brad says Rick was their head leader. Yeah, then he left the show. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna. Are they gonna show him on like the last episode of The Walking Dead and then branch off to the movie? I don't know. Lazy Coin said, I personally stopped watching The Walking Dead many moons ago because I hated watching characters I cared about die. Yeah, that was tough, wasn't it? I just, you know, going through, I saw a picture. I should have put it up tonight. I actually saved it because I was going to put it up tonight, and I forgot. But it had season one, the season one characters, and the only two alive that picture is Rick and Daryl. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Rick, Daryl, and Carol. Correction, three characters. Ghoul World Order says, hey, how's it going? Just tuning in. Buzzkiller Talking Zombie from Western Pennsylvania. Hey, Ghoul World Order. Or Buzzkiller. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's see. Ghoul World Order says, Daryl Dixon is public enemy #1 for zombies. Yeah, I'll tell you what episode did it for me was, he was, and I forget what season this was. 4? 4, I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't remember. When he and Beth took off after the prison raid, after they all got separated, and he and Beth were in a building, an old country club, I think, if I remember right. And Daryl opens up the door. Now she wasn't with him. I think she was in another part of the building, or maybe she was even outside. But he opens up the door thinking it was a dog, because thinking it was a dog at the door, because we had seen that dog earlier. And just this this horde of zombies comes barging in right after him, forcing him, and he runs into the basement. He has nowhere to run, so he goes into the basement. All these zombies follow him into the basement, and he runs into this room. Now he's cornered. He has no way out of this room. And I'm thinking, oh no, because I'm like, whoever wrote that about their characters getting rode off or killed off. Lasercorn. I thought, oh no, how are they going to get him out of here? There's no light down there. There's no way out of this room. And what he did with this table and doing this thing where he crawled underneath and trapped them behind that table and ran up the stairs, and it's like, wow, now that is a survivor, for someone who could think, with that cool and that, that intelligently to survive that kind of situation. I don't know. I was just very impressed with that. I thought, now that guy's going to make it to the end. With those type of instincts, he's going to make it. He's going to do all right. David says, in the Rick Grimes poster, he was looking very, very Charlton Heston from the Omega Man. Yeah, he kind of was, wasn't he? Yeah. I just watched that movie not too long ago. The Omega Man. Always a good one. Bonehead says, I'm doing okay. I got some vendors to appear on the show at Horror Realm. I'm plotting my next horror convention invasion. Cool. Raymond says, me too, Laser, and the episodes were getting too violent, especially when Glenn and the other guy, Abraham, I agree with you. That was, had their heads bashed in. That was that was actually when the viewership started to decline, was right at that point. Because my opinion is, you can do, and I understand this was in the comics, or at least partially. I mean, they killed Glenn in the comics. Abraham had actually died before that part in the comics. And I don't read the comics, but in the YouTube reviews I watched, that's where I saw that. But that episode right there was hard. That was a tough one to watch. That was a very tough one to watch, and then the season following that was that's where the viewership started to dissipate quite a bit. Really started dropping off because people are seeing their heroes just being defeated. Of course they find a way to win at the end, but I think it was too. The viewers didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see it. And there are certain things you can do in a comic book that don't translate too well to live action. And that was one of those things that didn't translate too well to live action, as far as keeping your viewership, which they didn't. It dropped. Now, they weren't in any danger of not renewing their contracts, because it was still a very high rating, but it was low for The Walking Dead. And I don't know what the ratings are like now, but that ever since they did that, and that drug out for way too long. That drug out for like 2 seasons, where they could have done that in 1 season. So, but yeah, that's where they started losing a lot of their viewers there. Brad says it was very hard to see that Rick's son died. Yeah, that was one that I think that was a really big mistake of theirs, and I thought it was stupid. I thought that was a really stupid idea, to kill off Carl. I did. I really did. Ghoul World Order says, I remember the first episode of The Walking Dead. It was an automatic hit. Oh, I loved it. I just loved it. I fell in love with that show. And I still enjoy it. I don't have that love like I did those first that first handful of seasons, especially the first like 3 or so. But we still watch it every Sunday night and still get excited to see it. Ghoul World Order says, or Bonehead says, Ghoul World Order. Maybe you could get Jack Shadow to come out of retirement and appear. What? Jack Shadow in retirement? Why? Curse the thought. He's not in retirement. He's just out and about. He's doing monster stuff. You know? Um, he'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back. Um, he'll be back. In fact, that's one of the things I was going to mention. I'm only standing in for a short time. Just for a short time. I never noticed it. I think I'm almost about the same height as Jack Shadow. That's weird. But looks like we both like the same type of drink as well. But no, this is only temporary, and it's for me to keep the content fresh, because right now I'm working on something, and I hate being sounding like I'm being secretive, but I kind of have to be right now, just because I don't want to announce anything right now, because I mean it might not even work out. It might not, but if it does, I'll be like really excited to mention it on here. But he'll be back. He'll be back. You'll see him again. But for now, I will be guest host. I will be guest host. I can crank out the shows a lot quicker doing it the way I'm doing it. And again, I'm not trying to emulate Jack's, you know, witty vernacular in any way. I'm just doing these shows quite, I'm watching, like the last one, for example, and I've done that with some of the other ones. I was watching them with you guys. Like one of them, I remember I didn't even see it until that night, and that last one, the Mad Monster, I didn't even watch that last part until I was watching it with you guys. So, because I thought I'm not doing it like Jack. I'm doing it like me doing a pre-show and watch party mixed in together. So, like what happened? So that's genuine. I'm watching it, for the most part with you. Now I will watch some of it, to take a few notes. But other than that, I wanted to see how much uh, I could do it like that, in case I'm too busy to really review the movie, write dialogue, and come up with a well polished show like Jack Shadow is able to do. So these are, they're going to be a lot less polished than Jack will give you, but I figure, well, I can keep some new shows. This is like the 5th new one that we've had this year, I think. So that's pretty good. If I were doing that as Jack Shadow, it would, I can tell you already, that wouldn't have happened. So just put up with me a little bit longer, and just have fun. Just have fun with it. That's what I'm doing. Brad says it was hard enough for Daryl killing his own undead brother. Merle! Yeah, I liked Merle. I was hoping he wouldn't get killed off, but he did. Acorn said, agree, Raymond, that's about the time when I stopped. But when Abraham was killed off, I checked out. I know, I liked him. I liked him. World Order says, Bonehead, we may be able to convince him. I could say he's not retired. I can assure you he's not retired. He will be back. I can promise you he will be back. Ghoul World Order says, my favorite season of The Walking Dead is still season 1. Only 6 episodes, but they were iconic. I agree. Brad says, nice t-shirt, Brian. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Lasercorn says, long live Jack Shadow. All right. Tom says, Jack is much skinnier than you. And he gets all my jokes. I know. Well, he gets them, most of them. Every once in a while, one slips over that skull of his, but yeah, he probably gets them better than I do. Let's see. Craig says hi. Hey, Craig. Thanks for joining us. David says the eventual return of Jack Shadow will have to be a grand event. I agree with you, and it will be. If I'm able to do what and it's not me. It's not me, folks. I mean, when I say this, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear back. I'm waiting for phone calls. I'm just kind of in limbo, and it's frustrating me. I'll be honest with you, it's frustrating me. But when Jack does return, it'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. It will be this year. I mean, it will be this year. In fact, I'll be honest with you. I probably shouldn't say this, but I was very close. I was very close for the Mad Monster to have him jump in here at the last minute, and I thought, well, the thing that kept me from doing that is like I didn't have like I say that witty vernacular that Jack has. It wouldn't have sounded like Jack. It would sound like me, and so I thought, nah, I don't want to do. When it's time to bring them back, I'll bring them back in grand fashion. So a grand event, like David says. Carrie says, Diana has ice in her hot tub again. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little snowy and icy out there. Ghoul World Order says, Jack Shadow's having one long, fun, extended vacation trip. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he's on vacation, but it's a bit more extended than... It's going to be a little bit more extended, but maybe not too much longer. Bonus says, Brian, you're right. I was only joking about Jack's retirement. You were getting madder than a wet hornet there for a minute. What? What are you talking about? I don't think I was. Why? Let's see. Brad says, when Jack Shadow shows up, he shows up in style. Yeah. Speaking of style, I did notice this when I mean, where is that picture? We're both looking pretty dapper. I mean, I gotta say. Normally I'm jeans and t-shirt. Jack's always dressed up nice. This is t-shirt, jeans, cowboy boots. That's always what I wear, but I get to change it up every once in a while. I try to clean up nice. Let's see. Tom says, Jack is doing the old Santa Claus off-season thing. Hanging out in Florida, most probably. Yeah, he might be. I don't know. Maybe when he comes back, he'll let us know what he was doing and where he was. Probably should have said that because I don't... I wasn't really planning that, but... David says, when Jack returns, will he be wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Now, that's an idea. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, it's 8:39. Let me throw that schedule up again. Then I got a few things I wanna throw up here as well. At 9 o'clock, folks, less than half an hour, we're gonna be seeing the Mad Monster at 9 p.m. on Stream TV. 10:35, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Track of the Moon Beast. 12:10 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Terror Creatures from the Grave. And then at 2:05 a.m. or really 3:05 because we go ahead an hour tonight. Spring ahead. But the next movie after Terror Creatures from the Grave is Snow Beast. There you go. There you have it. Yeah. 2:05, 3:05, 2:05. Look, it's the movie right after Terror Creatures from the Grave. And there's no gaps. Just maybe a couple minutes. I round it off to the next fifth of the minute, like next 5. Like if it's 12 after, we'll start it at a quarter after, that type of thing. But it says, yeah, Brian, your beard mustache fell off. Yeah, that it did. Just woke up one day. Brad says, I know that Jack Shadow will be there when Dracula and Frankenstein are finally in the public domain in a few years. He will be. That's true. Very much true. I mentioned about The Walking Dead, the movie, the Rick Grimes movie. I think that will be the first of maybe 3 movies. And then Isle of the Dead, the next Walking Dead spin-off series. And I guess Carol and Daryl are getting a spin-off series as well. I've been hearing that. I haven't seen any official announcement like I did with these ones. But, something else that's coming up this month. I don't know how many Moon Knight fans at Marvel Comics that there are, but this guy's looking pretty cool. Moon Knight is, it plays on Disney Plus on March 30th. So coming up at the end of this month, we'll be seeing Moon Knight, if you're into that type of thing. So, kind of looks like a mummy there. like if a mummy was a superhero, that's what he would look like, pretty much. So, I remember seeing, I enjoyed the character when I was a kid. I never really followed him like Spider-Man or Captain America, but I enjoyed an occasional Moon Knight comic. But curious to see what they're going to do with that. I hope they pick this stuff up. I do. Man, what lame shows Marvel's been having lately. It is so lame. Hawkeye, that one there. It's Hawkeye was a sidekick in his own series. It was to push this teenage or young girl, young college-aged girl to be the next Hawkeye. And Hawkeye was very unimpressive. He got beat up by every woman villain who came along, or any woman character who came along. They just smacked him around pretty good. Got a good thrashing, he did. But they just, or even the male characters, he didn't seem like anything I'd be making a TV episode about. He certainly didn't come across as being the Avenger from the movies, like kind of impressive. But I don't know. They need to step it up a bit, Marvel. So let's see. And another one that's coming out. I just saw this stuff this week, so I figured I'd share that with you. Is the Obi-Wan series. That's coming up on May 25th, which is, if you remember back in 1977, those of you who are old enough to remember this, or maybe you don't remember, but it's true. May 25th of 1977 is when Star Wars debuted. So May 25th of 2022 is when Obi-Wan Kenobi will come out on Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope they don't screw it up. So, like Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. But I gotta say, I was really looking forward to it. I'm not gonna say any spoilers. I won't ever do that. You don't have to worry about that. I'll give an overall opinion on something, but I won't ever give you a specific a spoiler. I wanted to love it. I wanted to love that show because I really wanted to see that the official storyline had Boba Fett escaping from the Sarlacc, because I always thought he was a cool character when I was a kid, and I just hated that thought of, him going out that way. It's such a stupid way. I wanted to love the show. I didn't love it. I did like it. And I was entertained by it, and I'm hoping for a season 2. But Robert Rodriguez, he's good at other things, but a lot of the episodes that he was responsible for, I felt there were just not in Star Wars. He does cool stuff like in his own You know, he does his own thing, okay, but bringing it into the Star Wars world just really didn't. It didn't work out that well. It didn't translate too well into the Star Wars world. But anyway, I'd bring that up. Cassandra says, "Gonna check that one out. Looks good." Lasercorn says, "Moon Knight is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters." Yeah, it was always really cool. I thought. Brad says, "I can feel it. WrestleMania fever is here." That's right. It's coming up on that time, isn't it? Al says, "Who saw the Batman this week?" I did not see that. Did you see it? I'm curious how that was. I wasn't, like I they got the actor from Twilight, and I'll admit, like when I first heard of that, I thought, why did they get this guy? But I'll admit, I never saw him in anything because I never watched Twilight. I just was like, that's sparkly vampires and teenage drama nonsense. Bah, you know. And there I did something that I always kind of don't like other people. I was kind of snobbish about it. I kind of held my nose up to it, and I shouldn't have because I still haven't watched Twilight. I could care less. But as far as the actor goes, I actually saw him in something else, and I don't remember what. But he was actually very good in it. So the guy does. He's a talented actor. As far as what little I've been exposed to his acting, but I'm curious to see how he does. I'm curious to see where this movie goes. Um, I remember when it was announced that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman. I was so upset, along with a lot of other people, because Batman in the 80s was just now starting to be really, really super cool. I mean, actually, I can't say he's starting to. That actually started with the the whole Neil Adams, the stories back in the 70s, okay, that started with Ra's al Ghul, um, and really taking Batman serious again. And then by the time we got to the 80s, we had Frank Miller's The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Returns, and there was a difference in Batman. He was more like a ninja. He was more like this brooding ninja. It was something to be feared, and um, and then they said Michael Keaton will be playing him. It's like, what? Why would you do that? And then I watched Batman in 1989, and to this day, I think Michael Keaton made the best Batman. So I do. I think he was a fantastic Batman. So I was wrong. I was wrong. So maybe this guy did a good job. Did you guys see that? Anybody see it? If you did, what'd you think of it? Tom says that new DC series Peacemaker with John Cena looks pretty bad. I haven't seen it. I know what you're talking about. I've seen like the commercials for it, the trailers, but I haven't seen it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that character. I'm not familiar with that. Like Moon Knight, at least Moon Knight, I've always known him since I was a kid. Even though he was like he wasn't one of the front runners, the heavy hitters of Marvel, he was still a very, very popular character, like Ghost Rider. He's a very popular kind of second tier character. That everybody loved. So I'm really looking forward to see a live action Moon Knight. But yeah, I don't know anything about this Peacemaker with John Cena other than the trailers. They look a little weird. Al says I'm sorry. Next corner says Robert Pattinson was great in The Lighthouse. I don't doubt it. And I couldn't tell you what movie of his that I did see. I don't think I even watched the whole thing. I think I was watching like the last half of it or something. I was like, that looks like that guy from Twilight. Looked a little older, and it was. I was like, wow, okay, guy can act. He can actually act. So that was cool. Al says the Batman was really good. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to see it. Tom says, but Keaton was the original movie Batman. But I did wonder why they were casting Beetlejuice as Batman. Well, because of Tim Burton. Because Tim Burton likes to work with uh, the same actors. You know, he's done Helena Bonham Carter, Johnny Depp. Well, he married Helena Bonham Carter, didn't he? Tim Burton? I believe he did. But she's in all of his movies, or a lot of them, and so as Johnny Depp. Michael Keaton, you know, he's Beetlejuice, so Tim Burton was familiar with working with him. So there we had him in Batman. So I thought what an odd uh, actor to pick for that role, but I didn't know he could do serious stuff. He could do it and still have his funny moments, but it wasn't overshadowed by comedy. It was like the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you had a serious movie, a serious themed movie with some comedy that was in it, but it didn't overshadow the scene. You know, then it just got so silly. I do like the Indiana Jones movies, but that's one thing I don't like. Make up your mind. Is it a comedy or is it an action movie? But I don't know. There I could I could go off on a rant. Um, Ghoul World Order says Robert Rodriguez Star Wars would have vampires at the Mos Eisley Cantina. LOL. Yeah, true, true. Um, Fort Ian Time says, have you seen Legend of Boggy Creek? I have, yeah. I was actually watching, you know, you just reminded me, I was watching earlier in the day because I was trying to pick out the movie for the next Friday Night Frights. And Legend of Boggy Creek reminds me of, I was watching a movie called The Curse of Bigfoot. It's public domain, so I was downloading it so I can have a more thorough look-see at it. Because what I saw of it, I was like, are people gonna want to sit there and watch this thing? You know, the parts I was watching was pretty hard to watch, and I just thought, is that how the whole movie is? So I don't know yet, but you just sparked a memory here from earlier today. Bonehead says, oh, I'm sorry. Tom says my son, 29-year-old Batman fan, says Patterson was good. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. John says Batman doesn't sparkle. No sparkly Batman. Bonehead says Michael Keaton is a Pittsburgh born and bred, and that man doesn't miss any Pittsburgh sports team. He shows up in a lot of Penguins, Steelers, and Pirate games. Yeah, that he is. Tom says 20-year-old Batman fan, not 29. Okay, all right. Little typo there. Brad says 10 minutes until ChillerNight Theater. All right. Oh, we got the bots. We got the bots. We better get rid of them. All right. Let's see if we can block user on YouTube. Something went wrong. What the heck is up with this? Aha. That cleared them out. Why? What the heck? I don't know what's going on. Why are there... Ghoul World versus Batmania 89. That was a good movie. Fort Ian Time says lots of Bigfoot films in the 70s. Yeah. I guess this one was in like 70. It says 75, but apparently, I don't know, in the description it says it was actually filmed in the 60s and released in the 70s. I don't know why. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I know very little about it other than something to do with Bigfoot. But the Legend of Boggy Creek, yeah, I have that. I have a copy of that somewhere. Ghoul World Order. Michael Keaton is Batman. Batman. Raymond says, hey, the naked troll is back. Right. Cassandra says, I enjoyed Boggy Creek. Yeah. Creepy little atmosphere to it. Bonehead says, I get credit for shooting down 3 bots tonight. All right. You go, Bonehead. Lasercoin says, no, Ghoul World Order. I am Batman. I am Batman. Instead of is Batman. Okay. That's because I heard that in my head too when I was reading that from him. I heard Michael Keaton. I'm Batman. That was cool. All right. Um, and then we get Kristen Bale does the what the heck was he doing with that voice? You know, he does this. I don't even understand what the heck he's saying. He just overdid it. He overshot whatever he was trying to do there. He overshot. Okay, because I don't understand. I understand trying to disguise your voice to some extent, but come on, I don't even understand. It amuses me in some of these fan-made YouTube films that make fun of that, where you can't understand a word the Christian Bale Batman is saying or trying to say. But Michael Keaton, he did it perfectly. Um, Tom says Keaton will play Batman once again too. Yeah, I'm anxious to see that. Um, very anxious to see that. Raymond says, did Jack Shadow piss off naked? I don't know. I know I was clicking buttons. Maybe the spirit of Jack Shadow was on there, just give him a good thrashing. Brad says, what did you do now, Brian? What did you do? I don't know. Raymond says, West is Batman. Yeah, I love those. I showed my collection. I think it was last week when I showed or not last week, I wasn't here. The week before when I showed other videos, I showed that my collection of the Adam West Batman series. Lasercorn says, okay, we can argue about who is Batman until we're blue in the face, but Julie Newmar will always be Catwoman. Yes. Yes. There will only be one Catwoman. That's Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt and Lee Merriweather. No, Julie Newmar. Yeah, she was by far, I think, the best. I don't think anybody would dispute that. For Ian Times, I haven't seen Batman versus Superman, but surely Superman would win quite easily. He would, if there weren't kryptonite involved. And I did see that movie, and it was based off of one of the Frank Miller stories from back in the '80s, The Dark Knight. And well, I don't want to give anything away if you're going to check it out, but it's a pretty smart cookie. Let's see. I'll read a few more of these, and I'll put the schedule back up again. It's almost time, folks. Let's see. Tom agrees with Lasercorn about Julie. Says, damn straight laser. Yep, I agree myself. Bonehead says, well, another fun hour has passed into eternity. Oh, that sounds so so final. But thanks to Brian and the ChillerNight crew for a very enjoyable Saturday night. Thank you. And then John says, this has been a ChillerNight pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you to set your clocks ahead an hour so that we get an extra hour next week of ChillerNight pre-show. Until next Saturday night, stay chilled and keep thrilled. Thank you. Thank you very much, Crozak the Grand. Al says good night, everyone. Tom says night peeps next week. Okay, and let me put that schedule up again. Now, right when I do that, we get, all right, swatted those trolls away. All right, in just a couple minutes, The Mad Monster. And then at 10:35, the movie is Track of the Moon Beast. 12:10 a.m., ChillerNight Theater. The movie is Terror Creatures from the Grave. And at 2:05 a.m. / 3:05 a.m., depending on what side of daylight savings times you're looking at, it's right after Terror Creatures from the Grave, is Snow Beast. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. Thank you for joining me and for joining each other tonight for another ChillerNight Live pre-show. All right. Enjoy ChillerNight Theater tonight. And have a good night. Have a good Chiller night. We'll see you next week.